Hello everybody. Our read aloud for today is a story called Picture Day Perfection. And let's look at the genre because we've been talking about genre a lot and it's always been fantasy. But our genre this time is called realistic fiction. And that means it's something that could happen in real life, but this is not a true story. Somebody made it up, but it could happen in real life. So realistic fiction stories are made up, but could happen in real life. As you read Picture Day Perfection, look for the beginning, middle, and end of the story. We're going to really focus on beginning, middle, and end because we're going to work today on retelling. So that's retelling is when I read a story to you and then you retell it back to me. You tell me what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Look for characters who act and talk like real people. In realistic fiction, the characters will be real people. Because if the characters are like animals that talk, then that makes it become a fantasy. And this is realistic fiction. Look for problems that real people might have and ways pictures and words help the readers to understand the story. So remember, that's called text evidence when we use pictures, words to help us understand, also making inferences. So let's set a purpose. As you read, create mental images or make pictures in your mind to help you understand details in the text. So when we're reading and we get these pictures in our mind, those are called mental images. And let's look right here at these power words. These are all going to be in our story, words you're going to hear in the story. Planned, perfect, hamper, disaster, scowl, mood, queasy, and fiddled. These are all words you're going to hear in the story, and if you don't know what one of these words mean, it's okay because when we hear it in the story, we'll get clues from the text, and we can look at the pictures, and I bet we can figure out what it means. So let's see. This is the author, Deborah Dyson. Picture Day Perfection, written by Deborah Dyson, illustrated by Dan Santat. Illustrated by means that's the person that drew the pictures that you see. The author is who wrote the words. The illustrator is who drew the pictures. I'd planned for months. This was going to be the year for the perfect school picture. But some days, not everything goes according to plan. The day started with the worst case of bedhead ever. Exhibit A, front view. Exhibit B, back view. Exhibit B, side view. Exhibit D, the look on my brother's face when he saw my hair. Then it took me quite some time to unearth my favorite shirt. I finally found it in the very bottom of the hamper. You might call it stained, you might call it wrinkled, you might even call it smelly. You wouldn't be wrong. So let's look at our power word right here, hamper. So he said the shirt was stained and wrinkled and smelly, and he found it at the very bottom of the hamper. So I'm going to use those words and those clues in the text to think, the hamper must be the dirty clothes basket, because the shirt was wrinkledy, smelly, and stained, and it was at the very bottom. More accurately described as a large syrup disaster. Oh, did I miss a part? Let's go back. I think I skipped some. Oh, I sure did. Sorry, guys. Breakfast was Picture Day pancakes, a family tradition. This year's festivities involved a small syrup disaster. More accurately described as a large syrup disaster, and it occurred exactly as the bus pulled up. I had a feeling we'd be getting a new family tradition. Looks like he got syrup dumped all over his head. On the bus, I got into a small bit of trouble. Make that a large bit of trouble. The bus driver made me sit in the seat right behind him for the rest of the ride. By the time I got into school, My picture day face was fixed in a scowl. Let's look at this power word, scowl. So he's got grumpy because the bus driver made him sit right behind him on the bus. And he's saying by the time he got to school, his face was fixed in a scowl. Let's look at his face right here. Does he look happy? He looks kind of mad to me. So I'm going to use the words in the text and the picture for clues that I think the word scowl must just mean upset. Just ugly face. He's just so frustrated with everything that's happened so far on picture day that he's got this scowl on his face. In class, Mrs. Smith collected our photo order forms. Do you think my mom checked emerald green for my photo background, or peacock blue, or pizzazzy purple? No. Once again, of all the backgrounds in all the world, Mom checked snoring, boring, traditional gray. No one gets traditional gray except for me. And it just so happens to be the only color in the world that makes my favorite shirt disappear. All but the stains and the wrinkles. After that, the teacher had us all stand up and practice our picture day smiles. Personally, I thought we needed a little something to get us in the picture day mood. Whoops, got myself in trouble again. Luckily, I got to rejoin the class in time for art. Art involved quite a lot of paint, or at least it did for me. Finally, it was time to line up for our photos. Ned, just in front of me, got the last complimentary plastic comb. I watched a classmate after classmate smile for the camera. I got queasy listening to everyone say cheese. I can't stand cheese. The mere thought of it turns me green, deeply green, and just as my face reached its most awful pre-green shade, it was my turn. So let's look at our power word right here, queasy. So he's saying he watched his classmates smile for the camera and he got queasy listening to everyone say cheese because he can't stand cheese. So I'm going to look text evidence and look for the clues and think, queasy, that must mean he got sick because he doesn't like cheese and his face turned pea green shade. I stepped forward. I sat down on the stool. It was hard as a rock and cold as an iceberg. As I sat and waited, everything that happened rushed through my mind. The monstrous messes, the muddles and the mix-ups, the whole day, from the moment I rolled out of bed, had gone perfectly. Even better than planned. This year I was finally going to have the perfect school picture. I'm a little confused. I thought the perfect school picture meant that his hair was perfect, his clothes were clean, and he was smiling so pretty. I think he has another idea. Look at his face right here. Looks like he's thinking of a different plan. Let's see. And that was when I heard click. In a flash, all my hard work, my perfectly tangled hair, my perfectly rumpled shirt, my perfectly sticky face, my perfectly composed scowl, that perfect boring background, those perfect paint splatters, that perfect sickly pallor, wasted, useless, ruined, in a moment of weakness, by an unexpected smile. My mom says it's the best picture ever. Look, he's got a perfect little smile. But just wait till she sees my picture next year. He's already got next year marked. So I thought he wanted the perfect picture for his mom. He wanted his hair to look good, everything, and be smiling. He wanted just the opposite. He wanted to look crazy in his picture. And the photographer caught him with a smile on his face. That was a great story. Do you guys like to look great in your pictures, or do y'all want to look silly and make a weird face? So remember, be thinking about the things that happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. And if you can't remember it all, you can always go back and rewatch the video and listen to me read the story again. But we're going to be working on retelling the story. So be thinking about what happens at the beginning, the middle, and the end.